Hello students, this is Dharmendra Sinha from BN Sahadi Public School, Giridih. I am the teacher of geography under social science. Today we are going to study very first chapter of geography, resource and development. So let us study this chapter. Here I would like to tell you that very first question raises when we study this chapter. This is actually the big problem of the students, how to start and how to study this chapter. So as far I am concerned, we should study this chapter by this way. We should use sparking points. What are sparking points? Sparking points means the important points of the chapters. We should be arranged and thereafter we should try to emphasize over there. So in this chapter when we study, we use these sparking points. The very first sparking point is meaning, concept and application of resources. Very first, let us study the meaning. Resource is made up of actually two words, re plus source. Re means which we use all the time, and source means this environment through which we used to obtain variety of physical substances for our sustenance and survival on the earth. So in short, we can say that the literal meaning of resource is concerned with the use of the resource for our sustenance. It means when we use variety of things which are found on the earth for our survival, they are the resources. Let us discuss the concept of resources. Actually, the concept of resources is concerned with the Zimmermann, the great geographer of Germany. He very first used this word resource. He very first stated the concept that resources are available everywhere in this environment. All those things which are available in this environment, which we use for our sustenance and development, they are the resources. But he further stated that these resources are in fixed amount. So we have to use them all very properly. Zimmermann further stated that these resources are very much important, indispensable. If they are with us, we can survive. If they are ending, it's a serious condition. Because if they are absent from our life, we can't sustain. Without the help of them, even we can't think of how to survive. So that's why this should be used very properly. Dear students, as you all know that population is increasing day by day and population explosion has taken place in our country. So that's why the demand of resources are day by day increasing. So we should be careful regarding our resources as per their nature and also as per their scope. So that's why this application is here very important. And if we study this, then we should discuss the classification of resources. So we classify resources on various bases. Number one, on the basis of origin, we categorize resources into two major categories. They are biotic and abiotic resources. Biotic resources means the resources which have life, like plant kingdom, animal kingdom, and we people, human beings. Likewise, abiotic resources over which we are surviving. They are actually lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere. So land, water, air, soil, minerals which are coming from the earth, they fall in the category of abiotic resources. So biotic and abiotic resources together work with one another, by which the whole life goes on. The next classification is on the basis of exhaustibility. On the basis of exhaustibility, we divide resources into two major categories. They are renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources means all those resources which can easily be renewed. Those resources which we use again and again, and even after using lot and lot, they never come to an end. For instance, land, water, air, human beings, forest, isolation and so on. Whereas Non-renewable resources means the resources which get exhausted once utilized. It means simply these are those resources which we can't use again and again, and with the use of them they get ended. For instance, fossil fuels, petroleum, coal, natural gases are the example. Dear students, as I suggested that at the end of every session we will discuss questions. So very first question of this session is, what do you mean by resources? How resources are useful to us? For this, 1 plus 2 means 3 marks will be given, as already given at the end of this question. So how we will write the answer of the question for getting 3 marks? Let us discuss. I have written here something, just take a look and try to understand. Very first, we will write for 1 mark all those things which satisfy our needs or basic needs and help us to survive and develop on the earth are known as resources. Thereafter, we will give the example: land, soil, water, air, minerals, crops, animals, plants, human beings, pen, copies, books, education, science and technology, earth, moon, sun, solar system, universe, and so on. You can give any 2 to 3 examples. I have given lots of examples so that you should understand. Thereafter, for getting 2 marks, for this you will be given 1 mark. Here you are getting 1 mark. Thereafter, remaining 2 marks can be acquired just giving the answer. Very first you will write against this one how resources are useful to all of us. We will write resources are important to us because number 1, they help us for our survival on the earth. Thereafter, they keep means resources keep our life comfortable and safe. For this, we will be given another 1 plus 1, and by this way you will get full 3 marks here. Now the another question is, what are biotic and abiotic resources? Give some examples. Actually, this is an NCERT based question and this has been asked in various CBSE examinations: 2007, 2009, 2011, 2015, 2017 and so on. So several times this question has been asked in the examination. Now how can we write the answer? Let us discuss. Very first we will write biotic and abiotic resources can be distinguished by the following ways, and thereafter we will divide the page into 2 parts. One side we will write biotic resources, other side we will write abiotic resources. So very first we will write definition. Under biotic, very first point will be these are living resources. In abiotic, first point will be these are non-living resources or non-living things. Likewise, we will discuss characteristics. Second point will be in biotic resources, these are obtained from biosphere, and in abiotic resources, second point will be these are obtained from physical environment. At last, we will give the example of both biotic and abiotic resources. In biotic resources, example will be flora, fauna, human beings, livestock, and in abiotic resources, third point will be land, soil, rocks, air, water, minerals, and so on. Now, giving these points, we will get 1 marks here, 1 marks here, and 1 marks here. It means full 3 marks. Now, the next question of this session, which is important and which has been asked in various CBSE examination in 2010, 2012, 2016 and so on. So the question is, distinguish between renewable and non-renewable resources. Let us discuss the answer, how we will write the answer. So here I am giving you technique how to write. We will actually divide the whole page into two parts, just writing it that renewable and non-renewable resources can be distinguished by the following ways. We will divide the whole chapter, page into two parts. One side we will write renewable resources, another side we will write non-renewable resources. And we have to here remember these points. These are very important points. Very first, we will put here definition, characteristics, example, and two main features. Very first, let us discuss how we will write the answer. Under renewable, definition will be these are those resources which can be used again and again. In non-renewable, definition will be these are those resources which cannot be used again and again. Now let's discuss the characteristics. Number 2 point under renewable resources. These are those which never get ended even after using lot and lot. Here under non-renewable, second point will be under characteristics. These are those which once used get ended or get exhausted. Now number 3, third point, example, we will give the example: land, water, air, sun rays, and so on in renewable resources. Now in non-renewable resources, example will be coal, petroleum, natural gases, and so on. Now at last we will discuss two main features here under renewable resources. Number 4 point will be these are available everywhere. In non-renewable, 4 point will be these are concentrated and found only in some places. Likewise, second main feature will be under point number 5. These are the resources of present and future under renewable. And under non-renewable, fifth point will be these are the resources of present and maybe continue future. So by this way we will get full marks 1, 2, 3, 4,